everybody. Welcome to our first episode of Getting to Know Jofuasia Media. So today we are in the presence of our principal. He is the director and founder of Jofuasia Media. So why don't you go ahead and tell us who you are, let our audience get to know a little bit about you.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you. So my name is John Jofuasia, and I am sort of behind this whole effort, as Jane mentioned. But if I say this, it's somewhat misleading because it sounds like I'm the guy doing things here, but I'm not really. The guys doing the things here are the young people that you cannot really see. These are just extraordinary young people, filmmakers, content creators, sound engineer, music producers, all of them African young people brimming with talent.
Yeah.
And it's a tragedy that we haven't really invested as much as we could on them. And so this is what I'm doing here is really a down payment on the young people. I'm taking a chance on them. I think that they have the goods, and I'm just putting a little bit of a down payment to try to encourage them.
Right.
So maybe who am I? I'm Jones Ofoasia. I was born in Nigeria, grew up mostly in the U.S., did all my schooling there.
Okay.
Worked in the Middle East a little bit, worked in Europe a little bit for the U.S. government. And after I finished, I went back and did some more schooling, took a job as professor in Ethiopia. Did that till Corona broke out.
Okay.
And then went back to the U.S., traveled around the world, and then ended up in Mauritius and then come here. So that's
Okay.
in a nutshell who I am. You have to ask more specific questions, and then I can answer more specifically.
No worries. So you have mentioned like you are definitely the guy behind all of the things that are happening at Jofuasia Media. And I mean, we live in a rapidly moving world, a lot of different industries and fields. Why did you particularly choose to be in the media industry or just be one of the major factors of production in the media industry in Kenya?
So when I came here from Mauritius, and that was in May last year,
Yeah.
I very quickly began to talk to young people. And in my interaction, um, I understand some of what they're talking about opportunities and lack thereof and such. And prior to that, um, I was teaching at the University of Gander. I taught communication. I taught journalism. My background is maybe speech communication,
All right.
but I do have one of my master's degree is in strategic and political communication as well. And then I have another master's degree, which is strictly speech communication.
All
And
right.
then I have a doctoral work
Wow.
in actually a couple of doctoral work I've done. But that's not the biggest deal. I was teaching in Ethiopia and then went back when Corona hit and then came back here. Um, in the military, I was information operations officer for the U.S. Army
Okay.
with additional skill identifier in strategy and policy. And so I did some of that. So I was a communications practitioner
All
as well
right.
as a communication professor as well. And so it seemed like a natural place for me. Plus, young people are interested in media, they're interested in communication, in social media, and the related platforms. And that's the direction the world is going. And I wanted to support there. You know,
Wow.
I mean, if we don't support our young people, who's
Right.
going to support them?
That's
So
incredible.
I wanted to be a part of that.
Hope you're listening, guys. Dr. Jones of Fossey is a reservoir of knowledge and information. And
Kidogo.
it's
Kidogo.
humility looks good on
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And so you mentioned that you were in the U.S. military,
Yeah.
and that you did like end up in Mauritius and Ethiopia, and obviously you are Nigerian of Nigerian descent and American by right. But why did you choose to work with young people in Kenya? You know, like why not Nigeria?
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
So life is sort of like interesting that way for me. I was born in Nigeria. I did most of my schooling in the U.S.,
Yeah.
my bachelor's degree, my master's degree, another master's degree, and doctoral work. And then I also worked.
Now you're
Uh,
just showing off.
oh,
I'm joking. I'm
yeah, no,
joking.
that's all right. That's all right.
Yeah.
So um, it makes sound like that, but I think that dates me, right? If
Right.
you've lived as long as I've lived, you got to do something,
Right.
you
And
know.
have something to
And
show for it.
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
so for me, I had the opportunity to do school, and so I did, and I like school. Actually, it's sort of like my comfort zone.
Right.
I really like school, you know.
So
And
you love to learn and you love to teach.
yeah, more learning really. But I suppose you're right. As we learn, we teach, and as we teach, we learn. And it's a cyclical process.
Very
And
interesting.
yeah. So you asked the question, why did I choose Kenya?
Exactly.
I've never actually chosen anything or anywhere. Life just brings me to this place. I was in Mauritius up until May last year. And then I thought I wanted to come to Africa proper. The two countries that came to mind was Tanzania or Kenya. Last minute, I decided to come to Kenya, and that was for a month vacation.
So what led you to focus on Tanzania and Kenya? What had your research said about these two countries and made you feel like, you know what, maybe I'm going to go to this country?
So I've been to both countries before. You
Okay.
know, one of my last positions in the U.S. military, I worked as a strategy and policy analyst for U.S. Africa Command
Okay.
in Stuttgart, Germany. And so, in part of my work, I had come to East Africa prior, and I liked it. I especially
Okay.
like my time in Tanzania. And as a professor out of University of Ghana, I've been to Kenya. I've also spent time here, and I really like it. And so, those two countries, I wanted to come back
I see.
and renew my connections or so.
Okay.
That's what brought me here.
That's great. And so, like, what motivates you to be this person that you are today, to be a leader for the younger generation and moving in the right direction? What motivates you? Gets out of bed every morning? Yeah.
Well, I do think that by and large, in Africa, we have failed. We have failed our young people. I don't think that we have done as much as we could to support our young people. Generally, if you go to different countries of the world, the
Yeah.
countries I know the best, Canada and the US, these are countries I've lived the most. I've spent time in Europe and in the Middle East.
Right.
In places like Dubai, I see the increasing um, growth and development, as well as in Kuwait. I served my last year in the military in Kuwait, actually.
Oh wow.
Um, so I see these countries doing so much for their people.
Right.
I think that we have failed by and large in Africa in the sense that we do not contribute to the life and development of our young people. That's the future. The young people are the future. And I kind of said it the other day. Some of the young people looked at me like maybe I was joking. I said, when I'm next to the young people, I feel like I'm next to greatness. Yeah, because that's the future.
Right.
That's our direction, right? And if we don't take care of our young people, we don't invest in them, then we have no future.
Right.
Effectively, we have no future. And so that was what led me to go teach, to seek out a teaching position in Ethiopia, working with young people. I figured I can bring my intellectual capability
Right.
and I can invest it in the next generation. Um, and in that position, I learned a lot. You know, I saw that maybe we have this great institution, but maybe we could do more to
Right.
help our young people there. So, what motivates me is the opportunity that we have to shape the future. So, I may not personally see that future, but maybe I will see it through the lives of these extraordinary young people here who are doing great things. They will move on, they get the experience here, they work with me, maybe we establish something, and in the future they will create films and documentaries or videos or tell
Right.
stories. I may not see all of that. I may not, I don't know how long I have to live.
Right.
I speak like I'm dying tomorrow. I'm not. I'm not.
We need
But
you.
yeah, but the
Yeah.
point is, I'm going to see it. I'm going to live through the lives of the young people that I impact.
Right.
And whatever it is I can contribute to them, that's what it's all about. It's
Wow.
not about, you know, anything else. It's about the next generation.
That's quite
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
And your motivation, does it come, is it innate? Like, do you feel like it comes from within? Or having traveled the world and had different positions in different places and countries, is it as a result of what you've seen in other countries, or does it come from within?
It's all of the above. But I would also say that it's a calling as well. You
Okay.
know, many years ago, after I left Africa, I didn't actually want to come back to Africa
Okay.
because I was struggling with all of the injustices, all of the issues in Africa. And so for a season, I was dead set against coming back.
Right.
All right. But over time, God changed my heart. And and so that's one of it. God changed my heart. And as a result, I became open to come back. But also, as I grew, I saw that there is a need also for me. It's not enough to say our leaders are failing, which they are. It's
Yeah.
not enough to
Yeah, what are
say,
you doing about it?
what am I personally
Exactly.
doing
We all
about it?
have a social responsibility
Precisely.
and are answerable to God.
Absolutely. And to the next generation as
Yeah.
well. As somebody born in Africa, and I was fortunate to travel the world, what can I, after that travel, what have I brought back with me?
Exactly.
So this is part of what it is.
Wow.
You know, and I think that's maturity too. After we've gone and done all this stuff, we come back and we take the sum total of that experience and we reinvest it into the future, into the next generation, and try to help them out. That's
That's
all.
amazing. And I hope like our friends in the diaspora are watching this, because some of you leave us and just never come back. So come back, come down to the motherland, come back home and impact the world, make the world a much better place than you found it.
Right.
Now, for how long have you had this Jofuasia Media vision or dream? Have you always wanted to have a media house, and for how, yeah, how long have you been on this?
Okay, so the media house came about by some kind of evolution, right? So I was teaching, and when coronavirus broke out, I left, went back to the U.S., and I did not re-sign my contract. I declined. I didn't want to continue
Okay.
because I wanted to go process my experience. And so while I was traveling, I was thinking about what am I going to do, right? But mainly just traveling for the experience also. But occasionally I will wonder, what would I do?
Right.
And one of the things that came to my mind is maybe I will set up a small studio and then podcast. I have a background in religion and theology, and I've read a lot about philosophy and all of that. I
Okay.
wanted to create a content around that. All right. And so when I came here and I talked about that with some of the young people that I encountered, um, they were the one that helped me to expand that vision. So rather than just have a podcast where I talk about a particular subject,
Right.
they think that it might be a good idea to maybe do something that will include others, hence
Okay.
the platform for content creators. You
Okay.
know, so my idea was quite small, have a small studio where I can talk about spiritual life.
Spirituality.
Yeah. But they thought, well, so what about other people who may want to create content? Is there a way
Right,
we
because
can?
this is a need, a huge need, and a
It's a
gap
significant
in
need.
our industry, and just for young people to have access to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we have talented young people with content, but they don't always have the opportunities or the technology or the platform to carry these contents or these gifts into effect.
Right.
And so what we try to do is to provide that platform to help them operationalize whatever they have
I
for the
see.
world.
And what would you say are some of the core values of Jofuasia Media?
Um, so I think I kind of mentioned that Jofuasia Media is really about creativity, It's really about quality and it's really about integrity. And I would also throw into that humanity, right? Before we have religion or tribe or culture or anything, we're first of all human beings.
Right.
We we forget that many times, right? So it is that which makes us human. And as human beings, we are creative beings. We create in everywhere. Whether you are cooking, you're taking a bunch of ingredients and you're creating something as a cook, right? Whether you are a videographer, content creator, you are creating. A songwriter, whatever, you are creating. A music producer, you are creating.
Right.
God is a creator. And so human beings are made in the image of God, and so we create. So in Jofuasia Media, one of the core value is creativity, but it's also humanity, it's also integrity,
Right.
and some of the other good stuff. So I will just kind of put it as such.
That's amazing. I mean, comparing to like our orthodox media houses and media stations in Kenya, there could be that lack of morality or ethics and just principles that guide people in their interactions. So it's really, really interesting to know that Jafasi Media is a conscious media platform.
It is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is.
And what are some of the services that you offer here for our audience who might be wondering what can they possibly do and how most can they benefit from this space?
Absolutely. So I think that's my camera right here, so I can look into it and talk to you that is watching here, and tell you that whatever aspect of creativity you are involved in, you can actually actualize it here. Are you a writer? Are you a dramatist? Are you a performer? Are you a dancer? Whatever it is you do, you can actualize it here. For those of you who are singer-songwriters, we have a studio for you to record your music, to produce your music. We have sound engineers to help do all of the mixing and mastering and all of that. If you want to create music video, we have here a number of very highly trained, university trained, degreed filmmakers that are more than capable to help you carry that into effect, complete that project. If you want photography, product photography, we have all of that. You want event space for whatever, we have all of that. You looking for a DJ, music performance, we have equipment for all of that. Your sound system, your microphone, your PA system. You have lighting, whatever it is you want. So Jofuasia Media House is really a one-stop shop for content creators of all kind, artists, bloggers, vloggers, musicians, songwriters, singers, whatever you do,
The whole shebang.
the whole shebang. You know, I do not think that there's any place in Nairobi, Kenya, or indeed in Africa, where you're going to get any more technological capabilities or technical expertise in terms of the quality and caliber of the young people who work here to produce, to create, and to help you carry your stuff into effect. For me, I'm probably not the guy doing all of that. I'm just encouraging, right? So if you want anything, you want to cover your wedding, your graduation, your corporate event, whatever it is you got, this is the place to come. You know, trust me, this is the place to come.
Right here, guys.
Yeah.
And he's not exaggerating, by the way. We've got a really beautiful space, both indoor, outdoor areas, beautiful lighting. The aesthetics are on steroids. So yeah, come have a look, come see how we can collaborate with each other and all that good stuff. So now our audience know who you are, they know where you're from, they know what you've done and where you are right now.
Yes.
What are some of the things that they can look forward to from Jofuasia Media?
In the days to come?
Yes.
So this is just a start. Like everything else, we have started small,
Yeah.
but we won't always be this small.
Okay.
But even though we've started small, don't let that deceive you guys.
Yeah.
Because you can have companies with big buildings and big names, but if you go in there, there's really nothing. It's
Yeah.
just a whole bunch of hooey, what the Americans will call dog and pony show. But here we have
Smoke and mirrors.
smoke and mirrors, right? But here we have the real things.
Yeah.
You know, we have young people who are edgy, they are creative, they are gifted, they are talented, they're sassy, they're
Exactly.
technologically inclined. And I kid you not, you know, I can put these guys up, toe to toe with any other professional I've met around the world. And I don't think any of them will be a disadvantage. And this is the real asset we have. We have young people that are gifted, that are talented, and that are making these things happen.
Yeah.
So the question, where do we go from here? Is that's what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
So in the future, we hope to make this a TV station, regular TV station. We're going to produce films. We're going to produce documentary. We're going to, in short order, we're going to become, and this is a prediction now, in short order, Jofuasia Media is going to become a key player in content creation across the full spectrum in Africa and around the world. I predict that.
The prophecy has been made,
Yeah.
guys, by the minister himself. I feel like we're going to grab this clip one day in the future when we're successful and be like, we saw it coming.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, we're gonna maybe grab it
Yeah.
and put it in all social media,
Yeah.
and you subscribe and follow us and join us on this exciting journey.
Totally.
It is an exciting journey.
Yeah,
for me.
tag along with us, see how we keep moving forward and making different moves and steps and changes in the media industry in Kenya. And if you feel like you've got what it takes, we might not have the numbers right now, but we've got all the best top-notch technology, facility, and just skilled team all together. So if you feel like you can help us with the numbers, don't be shy. Hit us up. Let us know. Let us know how we can work together and move forward in this beautiful journey.
Absolutely.
Like Joan said, don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms everywhere. That's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. That is Jofuasia Media. And subscribe. Click on the notification bell so you can be alerted every single time we do more of these videos. Like we said, this is the first episode of Getting to Know Jofuasia Media Crew. More coming in short order. So stay tuned. I've been Jana Pondo. And just before I let the master,
Okay.
sensei, the guru himself sign out, do you have any last words to
Yes.
say for our lovely audience?
I think that's, yeah, because I think you mentioned something about the numbers, right?
Yeah.
So don't let the numbers fool you,
Yeah.
because the YouTube channel we just actually started, right?
Yeah.
But that's not really what we do. We are a media house, right? So we have capabilities and technology and what you need to help you succeed. So our goal, in addition to the content we create, is to help you, the creator, the content creator, to succeed. So bring your ideas to us. You say, well, you don't have camera. Don't worry about it. We have a slew of camera. You don't have lighting. Don't worry about it. We got you covered. You don't have editing capabilities. Don't worry about it. We have you covered. It does not matter. Just bring your ideas. That's all. And then we will take those ideas and work with you to actualize that creative vision. So do not let the numbers fool you, because that's not where it's at. It's about the capabilities
Right.
and the extremely talented professionals that we have to help you succeed and to help you do better. That's really what it's all about here. So
It's amazing. Well, we can go on and on and on because Jones has lived quite a long time and he's got lots and lots of stories to share and impact the younger generation with. But if you want to get to know a little bit more and dig deeper into Mr. Jones of OFUASIA, catch us in the next episode of Getting to Know Jofuasia Media Crew, and we'll be there. So that's it for now, and see you next time. Bye.
all right. Thank you.